In today's society, communication seems to be one of the most important things. No matter what we're doing, some people are in constant communication with everyone around them, whether it be through a phone conversation, an email, or even a text message. At any given moment, over 800,000 people are somehow using their phone while driving a vehicle. I'm sure everyone in this room has either sent a text message or talked on the phone while driving. Not only is it dangerous for you, the driver, but also everyone else in your vehicle, along with everyone else on the road. Today I want to share with you through my personal observation and research that texting and driving is one of the most dangerous things you can do while behind the wheel of a car. Today we will not only talk about the dangers that texting includes, but we will also look at some of the laws that have been made in order to make driving safer. We may think that accidents are not caused by texting and driving, but in reality, accident rates associated with texting and driving are very high, and we all need to be aware of how severe one bad decision could be. Let's make this as personable as possible. When each and every one of you step into your car and start your engine, there are many questions and decisions placed before you. Some decisions, of course, I'm sure are more important than others, but they all go hand in hand of how you will return safely home that evening. Let's say you're driving down the road and your phone begins buzzing. If you want to answer it or not, that is your own question. Be sure to ask yourself before you answer it if that text message is important enough to risk your life for. Text messaging while driving has increased your chances of getting into an accident by 50%. Another factor that we are all faced with while driving is the other people on the road. I know that I wouldn't want a truck driver swerving into my lane as I go around a turn. Truck drivers have many risks as well. Edgar Snyder and Associates says that a truck driver texting has a 23.2% more chance of getting into an accident than a non-distracted truck driver. When someone does decide to send a text message while behind the wheel of a car, there are many risks that come along with this decision. The driver becomes completely distracted, sometimes takes both hands off the wheel, their eyes off the road, and are not completely aware of their surroundings. There are many disadvantages of not being fully aware of your surroundings. Many things could happen in just a split second that you are not prepared for. Even phone calls can be just as distracting as text messaging, even if your hands are on the wheel and your eyes are on the road. The driver on the phone is still not fully aware of his surroundings and doesn't have his complete attention on the road. One story that took place right here in Roanoke happened a few years ago when a high school girl was driving when her phone rang and she made the wrong decision to answer it. It was said that this young girl was to begin her first day of her junior year the following day, but instead her life was ended. Supposedly she had been talking to her dad on the phone, ran off the road, overcorrected, and then went into oncoming traffic. She was announced dead at the scene. Her boyfriend and family still fight with the pain that they have dealt with for the past 3 years concerning this girl. One bad decision can change your life or even other people's lives forever. Over the past few years, as texting has become more and more popular and the accident rates have gone up, the government has decided they need to do something about it. 18 states plus the District of Columbia have already banned texting. Even laws concerning cell phone usage in general are present in Virginia. If you are under the age of 18, you cannot use your cell phone at all while driving. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reported in 2008 that driver distraction is the cause of 16% of all fatal crashes. Some people say that texting while driving is more dangerous than driving under the influence of alcohol. Car and Driving Magazine says that when driving at 70 miles per hour on a straightaway, it takes 0.54 seconds to brake if unimpaired. You must add 4 feet if legally drunk, 36 feet if reading an email, and 70 feet if sending a text. Also, the Transport Research Laboratory in the UK found that when subjects were text messaging and driving at the same time, reaction speed was reduced by 35%. Those that were driving and drinking within the legal limit only suffered a 12% loss of reaction speed. Helen Nugent said, "This combination of factors resulted in impairments to reaction time and vehicle control that placed the driver at greater risk than having consumed alcohol to the legal limit for driving. This should be very alarming. There are very strict laws against drinking and driving, and if texting and driving is much more dangerous, then why is the government not so strict about that?" Edgar Snyder and Associates said that 4 out of every 5 accidents are attributed to distracted drivers. In contrast, drunk drivers only account for 1 out of every 3 accidents. So when we look at all the facts, it is very clear that we should not be doing anything behind the wheel of a car that could distract the driver in any way. The decision to make a phone call or send that text message that in reality might not be that important is your own decision. But be sure to think of other people around you instead of just yourself when you get into your car, start your engine, and make some of the most important and life-threatening decisions of your life.